Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube page. And if you need coaching, life, relationship, business, or entertainment coaching, I do all of these. Hopefully, there's something that can be helpful to you in these 400 plus audios that we have amassed over the last couple of years. But in any event, today we're going to talk about signs that you're overstressed or signs that stress has made an impact on you more so than you think. These are lasting things and signs that your stress is out of balance. So the first is you do nothing. Lethargy becomes kind of your regular state. Now, this could mean something as simple as staring at your computer or your television all day. This could mean staying in bed longer than you should. This could mean literally getting lost in brain fog and staring off into space. But it's those periods of time when you get so tied up in doing mindless activity or being somewhat mindless that you lose hours or, a half hour, an hour, several hours to actually getting nothing accomplished. Now, a lot of people who are overstressed do this because they think they need to decompress. The problem is it can become habit forming. The next is skipping meals. Either one gets so busy or so uninspired that they stop eating or eat at irregular times. Now, I will openly admit to being guilty of this because my body rhythm gets hungry when it gets hungry. And also, after years of being, actually decades, being around athletes, eating when you're hungry rather than on a schedule becomes a habit. And it's a habit I still haven't broken. But if you notice that you're skipping meals because of stress or because your mind is somewhere else rather than paying attention to your body, the disconnection from your body can become extremely dangerous and detrimental, both in terms of metabolism and other health-related challenges, and in terms of just being able to keep your energy level up. Many times, the people's dependence on things like sugar and caffeine is directly related to having a poor eating schedule. The next is dependency on junk food. Look, we all want to, go through and get that bucket of chicken or that burger. And there are times and spaces where we can reward ourselves with less than healthy food. However, if that becomes a habit, it's a sign that you're looking for an escape. Escapism through food, it can lead to eating disorders, it can lead to obesity, it can lead to lots of things. And it doesn't make you a bad person if it's led you there, but you have to think about the long game. Do you really want to be dealing with the consequences of those eating challenges a year, 5 years, 10 years from now? Chances are the answer is no. And if the answer is yes, then it may be possible that you care about yourself a little less than you should. And ultimately, it might be worth looking into that. Dependence on caffeine is another stressor. So, a lot of times, if we're not sleeping well, if we're not eating well, we need that pick me up. And caffeine is the easiest form of pick me up in Western civilization. So, the challenge becomes, there's nothing wrong with having a cup of hot chocolate or having an energy drink or a cup of coffee, but if you need these things to get through the day and there isn't a medical reason for needing a stimulant of some sort, it's a sign that your stress level may be a little out of balance. Now, the idea that there's a possibility that you're using caffeine as a coping mechanism may not have entered your mind, but in the reality of the stimulation and the kind of that pull is there. There are people who do get addicted to the feeling of buzz or picking up they get from that. Next is addiction to social media, and they've done documentaries on this, and it's why the only social media I have is for work-related matters, because a lot of times people use social media and the scrolling through of it to kind of alleviate boredom, but also to make them feel more connected with the world around them rather than actually building upon the relationships that are in their life that they can touch. If I can reach out and look at somebody having a better life than me on social media, or maybe making a meal I might like, or doing something I might enjoy, I'm less inspired and it's less necessary for me to actually deal with my own challenges. But if I can, live vicariously through someone else through social media, then I don't necessarily need to deal with all of the behind the scenes stuff that's related to why I might be struggling. The next thing in this mini list is ultimately not being on a good sleep schedule. So, oversleeping, undersleeping, we've talked about that before in other audio, certainly, but your stress level is an impact on your sleep, and your lack of sleep or your oversleeping is an indicator of your stress level. They kind of go hand in hand. So, they say the average person needs at least 7 hours of sleep per day. It used to be 8, they've dropped it to 7. Who knows? Maybe in the next 20 years they'll drop it to 6. But there is an effect that comes around when a person does not get the level of sleep they need. And so there's challenges as it relates to, hey, what does one need to do to get on a good sleep schedule? And also finding out that if you are having sleep issues or have had elongated sleep issues for extended periods of time, there's a very good chance that you have stress issues that are out of balance and out of alignment. The next is if you're comfortable with being alone consistently. So we all have times, especially for introverts, where we prefer to be alone, whether it be because we're overwhelmed with people or annoyed with people, or we haven't had time to decompress in a while, think, or put things together. Maybe we want to engage in a meditation practice. Maybe we want to engage in cleaning up our house or doing other things. But if becoming away from social interaction becomes a dominant way of being, that is another indication that you're out of balance. This is because humans are, in fact, and were, in fact, created to be, or evolved to be, depending on your perception, social animals and social creatures. So it is out of the realm of biological normalcy when a person has no craving or no desire to continue social interaction. It can be extremely difficult, and certainly we need to look at kind of finding ways to balance that out. Final thing in this particular audio is that we need to look at how much we rely on entertainment. So the binge watching culture, which I think has been something that has existed probably for 20 years, but probably came into vogue of speech 15 years ago with the advent of streaming services, I think has become both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing if a person needs to decompress, or if you want to catch up on something. It's a great way, entertainment forms are a great way to bond. However, when one loses time behind entertainment, be it television, video games, music, whatever, and we're not accomplishing other life goals, that's a sign of stress. We can use escapism in a positive way if we put limits to it, but it can become an addiction or very unhealthy if it's unlimited. So hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.